Okay. Sandhya, we can start the ceremony.
Yes, okay. Good evening and a warm welcome to Global Yoga Festival, a year-long celebration that began in September 2021 to commemorate 75 years of India's independence. Initiated by Swasti Yoga Center, the festival marks a variety of educational events where students and other yoga enthusiasts come together and share a platform to practice and experience yogic values. Every weekend, two speakers share their wonderful insights on yoga. Today, we have with us a yoga dignitary, Mrs. Sandhya Patki ji from Mumbai. She'll be sharing her insights on comparison between Sankhya and yoga philosophies. Sandhya ji is the founder and principal of New Age Yoga Institute. She's a YCB certified yoga master and also a YCB lead examiner for various certification bodies. She is currently appointed as member of technical committee of YCB. It is a pleasure to have you over, ma'am. Nice to meet you.
Request everyone,
Yes.
to please give a big round of applause. And also for her recent achievement of being a part of the board of the yoga certification body. So again, hearty congratulations, madam. And definitely it's hearty congratulations to both of you and to New Age Yoga School. Thank you. Over to you, madam.
May I say the prayer till then? Yes, okay. So let us all join our hands, close our eyes, slow down the pace of our breathing, take in a deep breath, and chant 3 Omkaras together.
बस मला माझ्या मोबाईल वरून चालू करायला लागेल पण
योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राणतोऽस्मि. Rub your palms together. Place warm palms in your eyes. Gently take your palms down. Namaste. Welcome, Sandhya ma'am. Over to you now.
Namo
We are
Namaha.
all yours. Namo Namaha.
Please make me co-host so that I can use the PPT.
Yes, madam, you can share now.
Yes. Can you all see it now? Are you able to hear me? And can you see the PPT? Okay. So we are here on this interesting topic of comparison or finding a relationship between the Sankhya and Yoga school of thoughts. And before we move on, I am going to ask you some questions so that we understand where we stand together. Okay, so going to the next slide. All of you are going to answer this, whoever knows it. Who is the guru of Sankhya Philosophy? Just open your mic, unmute and say.
Kapila Muni.
Right, wonderful. That's nice, Sania. What are the 2 primordial principles of Sankhya? Sanya, wait, let somebody answer, else you take it. Yes, anybody?
Purusha and Prakriti.
Yes, that's right.
Purusha and Prakriti.
Correct. Wonderful, wonderful. Next question. What is the meaning of the term Sankhya? Somebody else to answer. Oh, so
Yeah.
Sanya?
Bankit-ji, would you like to?
Yeah. So Vikas,
I will guess.
ask them.
One is the knowledge. Second is, we also use Sankhya for, Sankhya, counting.
Yes, right. Sankhya is a number and Sankhya is a knowledge. Perfect. Wonderful. How many tattvas are discussed in Sankhya? Yes, tell.
Yes, 25 tattvas.
Wonderful, wonderful. Who wrote Yoga Sutra? I'm sure everybody would know this.
Yes.
Jonas, would you like to try? Jonas is our new student from Germany.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was written by
Now I'm
Patanjali.
seeing the PPT. I am not able to see all the participants. I'm just seeing 4 persons here. So I'll just quickly toggle and I'll know. Yes, Jonas, you want to answer? Lionel?
It was written by Patanjali.
Yes, right. You are right. Perfect. Let's go to next slide. How many chapters are there in Patanjali Yoga Sutra? Yes, Lionel, tell. 4, correct. 4 chapters. Okay, so all of you are aware of Sankhya and yoga to some extent, and I know I have some idea as to what you do know about it. So why have I taken this topic today to speak? I mean, Dr. Vikas also said just now that is very interesting. You have taken a different topic. Purpose for taking this topic was yoga is acclaimed by the whole world. See, right now in our group also, we have so many people and so many of us from across the globe. And this yoga, which all of us are accepting and, imbibing and practicing in our lives, is built on Sankhya. So if yoga is built on Sankhya, then we definitely need to know that as well. And the fantastic thing about Sankhya is that it does not believe in God. God, as any religion practices, would follow as a human form of God. But that form of God is missing in Sankhya. It does not believe. And unfortunately, what we see today in the world is all of us get divided or separated because of our religious ideologies and beliefs. So if our whole world has to come and on one common platform, then perhaps yoga is that hope because it brings us all together. So with that thought, I took this Sankhya and yoga as a topic for today. So going to the next slide. Sankhya is knowledge. All of you have shared it. Then Tritapa is a concept of Sankhya. Tritapa is the 3 type of pains or miseries. Sankhya school of thought itself was developed so that one would overcome or find a way out to go ahead of these pains and overcome these pains. And they thought that if one has a complete knowledge of reality, then there will be end to sufferings in the world. So that's the Tritapa concept. Then 2 primordial principles, and that is Purusha and Prakriti. You just answered. This is also the Sankhya concept, that Purusha is the principle of consciousness and Prakriti is a manifestation of the world, the evolution of the world that we see based on the gunas. Yeah. So these are the 2 primordial concepts of Sankhya. And concept of evolution is the Prakriti is of unstable nature because it is made up of or it has got the three guna as its constituent parts. So because these gunas are volatile, they keep changing. That is why how the world has evolved, and that's another concept that we learn in Sankhya. And the most importantly, why is this show, why is this world scene that we are finding ourselves in? So they said that the purpose of this evolution of the world is bhoga. Bhoga is experiencing, and apavarga is a liberation. So who is going to experience? You and I, we are going to experience apavarga. We are only going to get liberated. And Sankhya thought tells us that Purusha gets entangled, and it is a Prakriti and Purusha coming together creates this worldview. And once they are separated through having the deepest knowledge possible, and that's when they get separated, the union takes us to the bhoga and realization of their separation, which is already is, but it is our misunderstanding that we see them together. So once this misunderstanding is overcome, then automatically there is a liberation or the apavarga. Okay, so this is the whole Sankhya thought. Now coming to the Patanjali Yoga Sutra. PYS, that is Patanjali Yoga Sutra, speaks about mind and its modifications, that is the vrittis. So which take one away from one's pure original nature. So if you recall in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. So the swarupa is our pure original nature. And somehow we are not able to see that pure original nature, and we are got entangled into the world scene. And that is because we have learned the Purusha Prakriti concept, and that's why it is happening. So this entanglement can be disentangled, Purusha Prakriti can be separated, and as a result, we will be able to come to know the true identity, and this can be done or restored by abhyasa and vairagya. So if you see the Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, it starts with the definition chitta vritti nirodha, then he describes all the vrittis, and then he comes to a vritti nirodha upaya as abhyasa and vairagya. Then additionally, other techniques such as Ishwar Pranidhan, Kriya Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, as per of course one's spiritual potential, he has suggested these various paths also. Do this or that, Kriya Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga or Ishwar Pranidhana or Abhyasa Vairagya. These paths or these techniques will help us to separate this Purusha Prakriti identification. Okay, that is what we learn in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Am I going fast or this is okay? Fine. So Sankhya is a theory and yoga is a practical technique to come to explore or realize this theory. This is often said about the two schools of thought. Okay, so because Sankhya has got concept, because Sankhya believed only in finding the right knowledge and having complete knowledge. So since it was looking after knowledge, it has come up with various theories. And yoga being practical, it cannot just go by the theory alone. If there is a theory, then I need to practice it, have a practical understanding of how it can be explored, and that we see in yoga. So yoga accepts most of the concept of Sankhya because it is based on Sankhya, and I personally believe that Patanjali Rishi must have been a Sankhya scholar only. That is how he has developed the yoga philosophy, taking Sankhya as the basis. Patanjali has built practical aspect of yoga philosophy on Sankhya concept. He tried to extend Sankhya to have more practical aspects, and as our slides moves further, we will get into details of it. core extension lies in concept of Ishwar. Yeah, this is one completely a new idea that is brought in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Because right in the beginning, I said that Sankhya is a school of thought which does not believe in God. So Ishvara is a God concept. And Patanjali has brought God into Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So that is an extension to the original Sankhya thought that we find in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Since we are right now having a comparison between these two schools. Sankhya does not speak about Ishwar. Yoga philosophy speaks about Ishwar, and hence yoga is called, it is not SAL, it is a capital I. So it is to be read as a Sa Ishwar Sankhya. Okay, fine. So I move ahead. Patanjali Yoga Sutra seeks only to establish its own tenets, that is doctrine, and not to refuse any other philosophical work, as all the later philosophical works do. I think this is something very important to understand. If you open the textbook of Adi Shankaracharya, you will find that Adi Shankaracharya has refuted Sankhya philosophy at some points, and then he has got given his reasoning, his case he has put forth why he refutes Sankhya. Then he has refuted Buddhism, he has refuted Jainism, he has refuted various philosophies and established his thought of Advaita Vedanta. That is what we see. But we do not see such a stand taken by Patanjali, though he has written his school of thought on the basis of Sankhya. In fact, he has gone ahead of Sankhya as well, because he has added Ishvara in it, he has given us asampradnyata thought. So all this he has given without criticizing Sankhya. And for this, I really admire and appreciate Patanjali, because if I refute a school of thought, say I am Patanjali, let's say for example, and I want to refute, I want to put forth my thought. If I say I refute Sankhya, that means I am building on one vritti. If I refute, I have to take a stand and I have to deny another stand. So I'm taking two stands actually, one a positive, one a negative. So both these stands become a vritti. And the very thought that Patanjali has put forth is Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. In fact, I look at this often. All of you students of yoga, you have learned this sentence or aphorism by Patanjali as a definition of yoga, and we always refer to it as a definition of yoga given to us by Patanjali. Rather, I would like to call it as a mission statement of Patanjali, because he believes that chitta vritti nirodha, that is overcoming all kinds of modifications of the mind, is the way out, and that is why he has not criticized. Okay, so this is a very important point to be noted. Now, for the Samadhi Pad till Sutra 15, Yoga Sutra speaks about definition of yoga, that is Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, then Tadadrashtu Swarupeva Sthanam, Vritti Sarupyam Itaratra, then he gives us all the Vritti Klishta, Aklishta, and he gives us all the 5 Vrittis, and at the end of it, somewhere in 12th Sutra, he says Abhyasa Vairagyabhyam Tan Nirodha. Then he gives us a definition. I mean, I really appreciate such a logical and clear progression. What he tells us later is he describes what is Abhyasa. Then he describes what is Vairagya. So Abhyasa Vairagya Abhyam Tan Nirodha. Then how the Abhyas is going to be Satudirgha Kala. Then he talks about Vairagya. And then after that means when he reaches till this point, actually he has spoken his philosophical thought that he wants to put forth, and he has spoken of the vrittis. After this, he comes to this sutra, Tat Param. What is Tat Param? Tat means before what has been discussed is up till now, he has spoken about Vairagya. After the Vairagya, Param, that means a Param Vairagya, that is an extension of the Vairagya. Pehla he has spoken about Vashikar Vairagya, and now even beyond that, the Vairagya, it's the ultimate Vairagya. And what he calls ultimate Vairagya is Purusha Khyater Guna Vaitrushyam. So here we find the word Purusha, which is a Sankhya word that Patanjali has given us. Now think about it. If I want to talk to a group of people whom I want to be enrolled in my thought, but if I want to enroll you in my thought, I need to connect with you in your language. And the audience that Patanjali had at that time was the audience who knew only Sankhya. So if he has to tell them about his philosophy, he has to use the Sankhya terminology. And that's why he says here, the ultimate Vairagya is a Purusha Khyati. And after this, the Purusha Khyati is getting established in the Purusha, which is the Sankhya concept. So people understand when he's talking about Purusha Khyati, that the audience then knows, yes, he's talking about Sankhya. After giving us so much of elaboration, Vritti, yeah, he's coming back to Purusha. So that's what I know. So then the audience is comfortable listening further. And what he says, Guna Vaitrushyam. So what he's saying is Guna. So Guna is again the concept of Sankhya, the world, Prakriti, made of 3 gunas. And when there is a Vaitrushnya, that means the detachment from the guna. Just think about it. The evolution chart that Sankhya has given us, and through all these evolutes, you are coming up, up, up in the process of involution. And the last leap, the 2 points that are there in front of you are Purusha and Prakriti. Now, in his thought, what Patanjali is telling us is you are reaching to Purusha Khyati. That means this is Purusha and this is Prakriti. In Prakriti, I am sitting in Prakriti, and this is where I am connected with all the 3 gunas. And only when I am detached from these 3 gunas, I will be leaving this pad. I mean, you see a swimming pool and there is a bouncing pad. That is your last support of the floor. You leave that support and you leap into the water. So what he's asking you to, now this is your last support of Prakriti. You drop this because there's a detachment from the 3 gunas. Now where will you go? Where you won't hang loose. You will be connecting with the Purusha. That's why this is a Purusha Khyati. Okay, shall I go ahead? Now the next sutra. Now after telling us this Purusha Khyati thought, what he is telling us? Vitarka, Vichara, Ananda, Asmita, Rupa, Asmita, Rupa, Anugamat, Sampradnyataha. So Sampradnyat is again the concept of Sankhya, because sam is complete, sum total, the all. Pragya is knowledge. So knowing everything is what the Sankhya scholars wanted, because to overcome the suffering of the world, you need to come to a complete knowledge, state of complete knowledge. So to reach to the Sampragyat, what Patanjali tells us, Vitarka Vichara Nanda Smitanugamat Sampradnyatah. So when you are reaching all these layers of samadhi, which is subtler and subtler and subtler dimension, you reach to this point of Sampragyat Samadhi, which again every Sankhya student will connect with. Now, after this, now he gives his thought, because Sankhya ends here. Because Sankhya only thought of Samprad, complete knowledge, Samyak Gyan, Sankhya, Kya indicating knowledge. So Sankhya is telling us to have total complete knowledge. When you get total complete knowledge, you get awareness of this is Purusha, this is Prakriti, there is a disentanglement. That is what Sankhya told. Now Patanjali tells us here, विराम प्रत्ययाभ्यास पूर्व संस्कार शेष अन्यः. So anya word indicates other than. So other than sampragyata. So Patanjali has not directly told us asampragyat samadhi, but by this description we can surmise that he is talking about anya, which is asampragyata. And we don't have to surmise it. Luckily, we have Vyasa Bhashya. In fact, my teacher, when I learned from him, he always told us this, and I'm sure everybody's teacher must have told you this, that if there was no Vyasa Bhashya, it would have been next to impossible for the humanity to decode what Patanjali has said in his sutras. So Vyasa is using this term asampragyata samadhi. Okay, and virama pratyaya abhyasa. What is this abhyasa? Abhyasa is a practice which he has already described and told us in the previous sutras. He's talked about abhyasa, and he's saying virama is a full stop. There is no more abhyas required at this point. Why? Because there is a sanskara shesha. So it is now sanskara is a impressions, and shesha is a residue or remainder. So what he's telling us here is these impressions are just laying there, but they cannot fructify and they cannot come back into the guna or in the prakriti, into the evolution or into the manifestation. So this is the point where he is indicating to the nirbija samadhi. I need to check my, yeah, okay. Suddenly there was an alarm from the battery. Okay, fine. So otherwise my laptop will become nirbija, near electricity. Okay, so this is the nirbija that he has told us here. That is Patanjali's advancement beyond the Sankhya. That is what we see here. And now directly I have skipped the sutras in between, and I have come to the Ishwar Pranidhanadva. So the previous sutras, I will just go back to this slide. In the previous sutras, he has given an elaboration on how this samadhi sthiti can be explored, Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, Samadhi. So he has given us all these, because Patanjali is a technique man. So he is giving us the techniques by which one could explore to reach to the asampragyat samadhi. So after giving those Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, Samadhi, Prajna as a technique or tools, he is giving another option, and he's telling us Ishwar Pranidhanadva. Why is else? Otherwise, you choose to follow Ishwar Pranidhan. And this is where the God is coming in Patanjali's thought. But because Patanjali is so hardcore believer of Sankhya, being the Sankhya student, he cannot just take God from out of the blue and put it in his Yoga Sutra scheme. So if he has spoken about Ishvara, he definitely needs to describe what this Ishvara is. He has to define the term. And here we have so many sutras talking about who the concept, actually what this Ishvara is. So he gives us first in the beginning, he gives us the term Purusha Vishesha. So Klesha Karma Vipakashayar Paramrushta Purusha Vishesha Ishvara. So Ishvara is a Purusha consciousness only, but it is a Vishesha. It is a special kind of Purusha consciousness. So the Purusha consciousness is there between each and every one of us, between you, within each of us. So each of us has got a Purusha consciousness, but this is one special Purusha consciousness, which is beyond the klesha karma, which is, all these are nothing but our weights, which are pulling us down to the Prakriti force. Klesha pulling us down to Prakriti, karma pulling down, karma vipaka, or everything is pulling down. So this is one Purusha consciousness who has moved beyond the Prakriti forum, and that is why he's a Purusha Vishesha, and he calls him as a Ishvara. So probably has painted structured a very ideal kind of a consciousness, which perhaps is a human form only. He has not given any detail. He has just said Purusha Vishesha. And Purusha is only a consciousness principle. Tatra niratishayam sarvajna bijam. Now sarvajna is again a word which gives us a connection to the Sankhya, because Sankhya school of thought is a school which believes in knowledge. So if it is a knowledge, then if this is a Purusha Vishesha, he is giving additional quality of this Purusha Vishesh Ishvara, that he is knowing everything, omniscient, he knows everything. That is the Purusha Vishesh quality, which is again coming from a Sankhya for adjective. Purvesham api guru. Now here he has used the term guru. Sankhya scholars are in search of complete knowledge. And if I need knowledge, if I seek understanding, I need and bow down to my guru. Only my guru will give me knowledge. So he describes Ishvara as a guru of the gurus, of the gurus, of the gurus. So it is beyond it. You don't know the origin, but he is the first guru. That is what he tells. So again, he is, using Sankhya terms, but at the same time bringing what he wants to say on the table. Okay, now tasya vachaka pranavaha. Now, if I tell you something, I need to give you an experience of that thing. Okay, so let's play a game. I'm going to use some words and see what happens. I say table, fan, wall, television, floor, flower, soil. When I use all these words, you could have a mental imagination of what I am telling you. Now I say urgu. What is this meaning? Urgu. This word does not mean anything because I just created this word. And for this word, I do not have any mental picture of what it means, right? So now understand what is this Tasya Vachak Pranava concept of Patanjali. Vachaka means a word which is a calling name. Yeah. So if I want to call Bankim, if I say Bankim, then Bankim is going to raise his hand because I called him. Lionel will raise his hand because I called him. So I have to call this Purusha Vishesha, who is the Ishvara. So Ishvara, he has given the name Vachaka Pranava. Pranava is a concept, or it is understood as Om chanting. So Omkar is known as Pranava. So it is, for perhaps now we need to understand what is this term Pranava mean, and then we need to learn it that it means Om. But when Patanjali has written this sutra, that time everybody understood what Pranava means. Pranava means Om. So the experience of Om, and I want to recite Om with all of you right now. So okay, chalo. So all of you, please get into an upright, steady posture. Everybody, you may want to remove your specs if that is creating a pressure on your skin. Stabilize your posture. Allow your body to settle down. Allow your breath to settle down. And we are going to chant one nice Om, okay? Breathe in. Om. At any point you feel like opening your eyes, please do so. When we recite Om, initially there is a sound of the chant, and the sound creates the vibrations, and then these vibrations gradually fade out completely, and then we reach to a point of silence or a void. So Patanjali tells us that when I am reciting Om as a practice, as a japa, that is, I do it continuously, I will repeatedly touch base with this 0 point or a void point. Because at this point, there is nothing. There is no vibration. There is no sound. It's a soundless condition and there is nothing. And when all the three gunas are absent, there's going to be one nothing experience only. And when there is a total nothingness, we can consider it as a blank sheet. Only when there is a blank sheet, there's a possibility of creation. That is why if we are able to experience this silence, deep silence zone, that's where we will be able to shake hand with this Purusha Vishesha, the God principle, to which we will be able to surrender. Because if I am as a Purusha and Prakriti consciousness, these two are there. If I come face to face with the two, unless I drop this Prakriti, I'm not going to reach to an experience of Purusha. So that dropping has to happen. So for that dropping, this pranava is helping to come to that experience of dropping. So that's it. This is my view on Patanjali, why he has said that. Now, another very, very wise statement. After putting Prastasya Vachak Pranava, I think he is really absolutely wise that he doesn't want to get caught in any word that he uses. What he says, Tad Japas Tad Artha Bhavanam. Very clearly, what he tells us is, when you are reciting this Om chanting, whatever you are experiencing, he just leaves it at whatever. And that whatever is tad japas tad artha bhavanam. And that whatever he leaves to each of us as a practitioner. So it is an open-ended thought he has given. So with whichever bhavana, with whichever feeling you are saying it, the recitation of japa, the same will manifest when you are doing the japa. Okay, so here, if he had told us that when you do Om, this is what you will discover. If he says this is what you will discover, he puts it in word, it gets confined. And if it gets confined, it's a vritti, and Patanjali wants vritti nirodha. That's his mission. Okay, so shall we go ahead to the next slide? After discussing about Ishwar Pranidhan, later he has given his own theory on how one could come to the experience of samadhi. So that's all about the first chapter. In subsequent sutras, we don't find the link of Sankhya and Patanjali thought. So here, when we come to the sadhana path, we find the links again. So in sadhana path, at the beginning, he has spoken about the klesha, then he has spoken about the kriya yoga, and then he has, after speaking on that, in the 15th sutra, here we find a direct link to the Sankhya thought. What is this sutra telling us? Parinama tapa sanskara dukkhair guna vritti virodhacha dukkhameva sarvam vivekinaha. So what is he telling us? He is describing us what this Viveki person, the person, man of wisdom, the man of discrimination, what is he seeing through in the world? What he sees through, because he is going through the klesha, karma, vipaka, and reaching to the root of the karma. What is he finding? He realizes that discriminating persons apprehend by analysis and anticipation all is as it were sorrowful on account of everything bringing pain, either in the consequences or in the apprehension or in the attitudes caused by impressions, also on account of the contrary nature of the three gunas. So what is he telling us? These gunas are ever changing. They are mutating all the time. And because of these mutations, we come across the consequences or the parinama. And what we come across because of this guna? Tapa, pain, misery, or apprehension, and and impressions, because every act leaves its impression. There is a karma bija, so that impression is nothing but a sanskar, and all this sum total is the game of life in which you are just entangled, and the viveki can see through the whole process. Coming to the next, in the next sutra, immediately he says, if you have understood that this all is an entanglement, it's all pain, then heyam dukkham anagatam. So he says, now, okay, now this is done. Now I am born, I am here, all it is there. I cannot wipe, I cannot go back. I cannot go to the last date. The date has moved forward. So now what you can do is dukkham anagatam. You can work towards overcoming the pain which is yet to arrive. The pain which is not yet come is avoidable. And this dukkha term is again Sankhya, because tritapa is a suffering. So dukkha also means suffering. Next sutra. Drashtu drushyayo sanyogo heya hetu. So drashtu and drishya, that is drashta, is a purusha and prakriti. So these two have come together. The bond between the two, seer and seen, is the cause of the pain that is to be avoided. And this is again a reference to the Sankhya. Next, prakasha kriya sthiti sheelam bhutendriyatmakam bhogapavargartham drishyam. So this is again a Sankhya thought. The world is for a bhoga and apavarga. We saw that right in the beginning. Now, another sutra, which is directly taken based on Sankhya. Vishesha Vishesha Linga Matra Lingani Guna Parvani. So in Sankhya, we have all the evolutes charted out, and we have learned in Sankhya, there are 25 in number. So all these 25 are appearing in this one sutra. Then sutra 20 to 27, he is speaking about drashta, that is a purusha of pure consciousness, and prakriti. They are coming together due to avidya. The avidya term has been used here in Patanjali. Well, we don't see the avidya term in the Sankhya, but the Sankhya that we are reading is from Ishwar Krishna's Sankhya Karika. We do not have the original Sankhya text, so we don't know whether it was there in the original text or not, but we can assume it was not there, else Ishwar Krishna would have written about it, because such a critical and very important thought, that is avidya. Okay, so we're going to the next. Sankhya is a theory, yoga is practical. Yoga philosophy is based on Sankhya and having extension to it that we just now saw. It is a Sa Ishvara Sankhya. Yoga speaks about asampragyata, which is also ahead of Sankhya, which speaks about even dropping knowledge at the end. So asampragyata, this is dropping everything. So Yoga Sutra references Purusha Prakriti, their joining, and how Viveka, that is discriminating knowledge, and yogic practices of Abhyas Vairagya, Ishwar Pradhan, Ashtanga Yoga, Kriya Yoga help in journey of self-realization, that is Kaivalya, which is progression from Bhoga, of that is experience, to Apavarga. So this is the whole presentation, and I end here. So if you want to ask any question, we can take that.
If anyone has any questions, please go ahead and ask Sandhya ji. If not, I think we can all go ahead and give a big round of applause for the wonderful speech that was delivered. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste,
Wonderful.
Sandhya ji.
Namaste.
Absolutely wonderful. I don't have, too many words to express. Okay, but yeah, it's boundless, put it that way. What I was going to ask is, in your presentation, you mentioned about some differences between Sankhya Philosophy and Adi Shankaracharya.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you, will it be possible, just to say some broad, that what are the key major differences between two?
The key point that he spoke about is Prakriti and Purusha, they are two. And he vehemently refutes that the Prakriti and Purusha, they are two. He says they are brought together, they are functioning together, but there's no explanation given on why Prakriti and Purusha have come together. And the Sankhya says they have come together because there is a purpose of Bhoga and Apavarga. That itself he has vehemently criticized. And then he has brought forth the concept of Advaita Vedanta. And in fact, Adi Shankaracharya has not brought Advaita Vedanta. It was by his guru's guru, and we all know that. So what Adi Shankaracharya he has done is, he has emphatically put it across to the classes, the wise class at that time in the society, and established that Advaita is the way, is the philosophy.
So it's about non-dual. Okay, so basically
non-dual. He spoke about non-duality. Yeah, because because there has to be one. Only from one the other can emerge. So that is the thought of Advaita, and that's how it is Brahman. That is the concept of Adi Shankaracharya.
Yeah, and it's so it's a comment, so wonderful, because now I can connect, whatever you presented, I am able to connect. I read a little about, quantum physics, and, there was a good statement by, like a father, three fathers of quantum physics. One of them is, Erwin Schrödinger, and he put it wonderfully, after doing all that research, he put it that, consciousness, right? What we call Purush. So he says consciousness is a singular of which plural is unknown. So even the quantum physics, has merged into this philosophy, that it's all about consciousness, nothing else.
Yes, nice. So Makran Goreji, have you raised hand?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Rajendra.
Yes, Sandhya, it was very nice.
Thank you, sir.
So profusely and thoughtfully you have presented.
Thank you very much. I'm so honored that you came and attended this session. Really honored, sir. Thank you so much.
Differences as well as the similarity which yoga has taken from Sankhya.
Ma'am, I want to.
I have only one suggestion
Yes.
and maybe a query also, that we say Ayurveda has also emerged from Sankhya, and Ayurveda has also accepted Sankhya, and Ayurveda has also accepted Ishvara also. So could you find some difference in Ayurveda and yoga while accepting Sankhya?
I think I passed that question to Dr. Vikas. He's the Ayurveda person because he's the doctor. So can you throw some light on this, Dr. Vikas?
Well,
No, as far as my capacity is concerned, I don't think it is right for me to give an answer in front of Makaran Gore sir. But absolutely, what I can comment is whether we have Vagbhatacharya or Charakacharya, they have accepted the philosophy of Sankhya, and where he talks about the Trivida Dukkhas. And from the health perspective, Ayurveda talks about how to eliminate these three sufferings and how to integrate the idea of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas as far as lifestyle is concerned, whether it is the Ahar, whether it's the Achar, Vichar. And from that perspective, or whether it is the clinician's perspective of diagnosing a patient. So the Ashtavid Pariksha, we talk about Nadi, Mutra, Malam, Jiva, Shabda, Sparsha, Dukha, Krudi. So there they have beautifully, Ayurveda has incorporated the idea of the three gunas to eliminate the three tapas. So it's more like I would say that Ayurveda uses the template of Sankhya to take it ahead and create a specialization with the field of medicine. So I don't know if Ayurveda contradicts Sankhya. And again, we have Dr. Vaishali Madam, who can specifically give more detailed ideas also. Vaishali Madam, would you like to comment?
She has raised hand as well.
Okay, yeah.
Good evening, ma'am. First of all, it was a beautiful presentation.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So continuing with Dr. Vikas's answer, he has mentioned Charaka and Vagbhata. And Charaka was a big, Agnivesha was a big fan of Sankhya, which I can tell from every philosophical aspect, rooting it into the health perspective and understanding the whole thing, the whole humanity, as well as the whole Srishti in a way. So I think there is, in every aspect, there is this is a footmark of Sankhya when we talk about Vagbhata and Charaka. But on the other hand, Shruta, who was very much karma and a fan of action, he talks about Ishwar as Ishwarecha behind the creation of Srishti. So when we talk about Ayurveda, we can't say about, we can't talk about only one rishi or one sage. It's a big school. So there are also, but yes, Sankhya and Yoga both has got a lot of impact. And these three people, I mean, Shushrita, Vagbhata, and Charaka, in their particular influence, with the influence in that particular era, has got a lot of influence of the Sankhya and Yoga as well. But Charaka, I can say, was a big fan of Sankhya.
very good. Thank you all for supporting my idea also that even Sushruth has mentioned when he says Prasanna Atmendriya Manaha. So he is also upholding and supporting Sankhya in a way. So we can say Ayurveda has taken only health perspective, but they have also carried out the Sankhya philosophy of evolution further. And yoga has no doubt it has taken further for spirituality. So thank you all, and thanks to Sandhya for a very good presentation. Very nicely presented.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all. I am speechless. I am more than blessed to be able to attend your lecture. And I am a newbie to yoga. So this was more than insightful about what yoga is. So right now, my understanding, the more I understand about yoga, I feel like that is still a drop in the ocean. So you expanded a more wide ocean in front of me, and now I am more intrigued to study the comparison between Sankhya and yoga philosophy. Thank you so much. And I now call upon Dr. Vikas sir to share some glimpses from today's event that was held at Bhakti Shakti Chowk. That marked the beginning of Yogotsav.
Yes, thank you very much, Sania ji. So I would request everyone to please unmute themselves, and we will give a big round of applause for the wonderful session that was conducted today. So by now, everyone would have come to know how beautifully Sandhya madam has this quality as a guru to make the most complicated topics very simple, very easy, the way you might have understood from the examples, how the transformation from the Prakriti towards the Purusha. And for that, she used the example of we going into a swimming pool and how at the surfboard, you are moving from that land into the water. So that transition is so beautifully explained. So it all reminds me of, again, the Smriti. Okay, Klishtra Smritis come up. All these years we have been together, and always both Sandhya madam and Nitinji, they have been so lovely and compassionate, and they have been our guardians. And not only for us, but all our Swasti family. We had been together a couple of years back at Kanyakumari at Vivekananda Kendra. There also, it was such a beautiful conference, a seminar, where there was a great amount of sharing of ideas and values together. Both schools came together, the New Age Yoga School and Swasti. So wonderful memories, wonderful. And we hope with this International Yoga Day and other occasions coming in, we meet often, and there is this kind of satsang continues, enriching all of us together. So once again, thank you very much, madam, and hearty congratulations for being also a part of the executive board of YCB, Yoga Certification Board.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
that will help us in promoting the activities and the certification globally. So thank you.
Yeah. So if we are concluding, I would suggest that we can just recite Om for thrice and then we can conclude.
Absolutely. There are a few important announcements.
Yeah, so please complete all those processes.
Okay.
And at the end,
and then we will have. Yeah.
Yes.
So Saniji will take care of that. I will just share some of the important glimpses. So one important announcement is, we all know that 21st June is the International Yoga Day. And as a part of the yoga fraternity, we have also tried to make our sincere efforts in promoting this. And Swasti Yoga Center has made a sankalpa that we will have at least 50 events to be carried out before the 21st June. And they would be conducted in 15 plus countries. And it's not a big problem because Bankimji is in the United States, Lionel is in France, and all our beautiful people, Jonas is from Germany. So there are all so many beautiful souls here. and Ishwar Pranidhana Dva. Okay. So as the forms of the same consciousness, we will put our sincere efforts and help all our people in the community, neighborhood, to be associated with this yoga movement and spread the light of yoga. So I will encourage everyone, and just as a motivating factor, I would love to share today's insights. So today we had the first event at a place called as Bhakti Shakti. Again, it's a very beautiful spiritual place which is blessed by Shivaji Maharaj meeting Tukaram. So it's the confluence of Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga coming together. Along with that, we have the India's biggest flag over there. So it was an iconic location where in early morning we had students coming in together across the age group, for the kids, the elderly people. Sunday morning 6:30, there at the lawns of Bhakti Shakti, enjoying the morning sunlight, absorbing and practicing the common yoga day protocol. So these are some of the glimpses, and it is just a motivation for all our students to take this message of yoga in your community. So we expect these kind of things from every part of the city, every part of the country, and every part of the world. Yeah. So all smiling faces together. Yesterday itself, we had Hanuman Jayanti, and we have some of our students practicing the Hanuman pose. Yeah, and also we have one of our guests, a student coming in. Janas came yesterday from Germany. So you can find him, and we all practicing yoga below the highest flag of the country. You can see how beautifully the experience was, really wonderful. So that was all for today's event. And there are some announcements for the week to come. We are going to start a kids, a summer camp for the kids, where we are trying to integrate the yogic values and our Indian culture. There are some other fun activities also. So you can spread out the message to your friends and the younger ones. Okay. Now, I would hand over to Sanya ji, who will announce the speakers and the topics for the next week, and then we will have the Om chanting.
So on 23rd of April, that is on Saturday, speaker Privi Jain will be joining us, and she'll be sharing with us her insights on importance of yoga in value education and raising kids. And on 24th of April, which is Sunday, Aarti Kori will be joining us to share with us her insights on Sanskrit effect on holistic personality development of children. And that is the program schedule for the next week. Hope to see you all next week. I think we can continue with Omkar chanting, sir.
Yeah. Over to you, Sandhya madam. Yeah.
Okay. Everybody in head, neck, back alignment. Rujuta, Rujukaya. Can remove the spectacles as well. Breathe out completely, slowly and gradually. And find a landing on your seat bone. Take a deep breath in, and we recite 3 times Omkar. And please rub your palms. Up your eyes. Blink your eyes. Slowly open your eyes and take the hands off. Namo Namaha.
Namo Namaha. Dhanyavadah.
Thank
Namaste.
you.
Bye-bye.
Namaste.
Namaste. Bye.